The cream-colored envelope trembled in my hands as I read the words again. We regret to inform you that due to space limitations and family considerations, we must decline your attendance at baby Aurora's christening. Space limitations. Right, because apparently God's house has a strict capacity limit when it comes to ants who ask too many questions. I'm Stephanie, and until 6 months ago, I was the good sister, the responsible one, the one who helped raise Noelle when our parents were too busy maintaining their country club membership to notice their youngest daughter's depression. Now I'm the family's darkest secret. All because I dared to question the golden boy who swept in and turned my sister into someone I barely recognize. My phone buzzed. Mom, because of course. Stephanie, darling, I just wanted to check if you received the message about the christening. Her voice dripped with practiced concern. You mean the disinvitation? Yeah, got it. Really classy sending it on letterhead. Now, sweetheart, you know how these things are. The Douglas family has certain expectations. And given your recent attitude. My attitude? I laughed, but it came out sharp. You mean asking why Braden changed his name, or wondering why his old business partners won't talk about him? This is exactly what I mean. These conspiracy theories of yours, they're not theories when there's proof, Mom. The Douglas family is very well respected. Tegan sits on 3 charity boards. Do you know what your accusations could do to Noelle's position in society? I took a long sip of wine, staring at the photo on my coffee table. Me and Noelle at her college graduation, before Braden, before the lies. Position in society? Really? What about protecting her from. Enough! Mom's voice cracked like a whip. Your sister is happy. She's finally found her place. If you can't support that, then maybe some distance is best. The line went dead. I grabbed my phone and pulled up Noelle's Instagram. There she was, radiant in her designer maternity clothes, Braden's arm wrapped possessively around her waist. Blessed, perfect family. New. Chapter A message popped up from Genesis. Girl, you okay? Saw Noelle's post about the christening guest list. Peachy, just got officially excommunicated from my niece's baptism. Apparently, God's grace doesn't extend to whistleblowers. Want me to come over? I've got wine and those spicy chips you like. Rain check. Need to process this solo. I walked to my bedroom and pulled out the old shoebox from under my bed. Inside, newspaper clippings, screenshots, financial records, 6 months of research that proved Braden Douglas wasn't who he claimed to be. The man my sister married was a ghost, a carefully constructed facade hiding something darker. My phone buzzed again. Noelle this time, but just a text. Mom told me you're being difficult again. Please don't ruin this for me. Aurora deserves a perfect day. Perfect, that word again. Like the perfect wedding where I wasn't allowed to give a speech. The perfect baby shower where my gift was accidentally left off the display table. The perfect family photos where my absence wasn't even noticed. I opened my laptop and pulled up the church's website. The christening announcement listed all the key players proud parents, godparents, distinguished guests, including Trenton White, a name that made my heart skip. Did Noel even know who he was? What Braden had done to him? Another Instagram notification. Tegan, my sister's mother in law, posting about the intimate family ceremony to come. The comments were flooding in, all hearts and congratulations. I spotted her reply to someone asking about the guest list. Just our closest family members. Those who understand the importance of unity and discretion. The wine glass in my hand was empty again. I got up to refill it, catching my reflection in the window. Same dark hair as Noelle, same smile our father gave us. But where she saw perfection in silence, I saw poison in secrets. My phone lit up with another message, this time from an unknown number. Heard you've been asking questions about Wyatt. Smart girl. Too smart. Back off. I smiled, screenshot the threat, and added it to my collection. They thought silencing me would protect their carefully curated narrative. They forgot I was the one who taught Noelle how to tell stories in the first place, the one who helped her write her college essays, who edited her wedding vows, who knew every chapter of her life before it was rewritten by Braden's expensive pen. If they wanted a sanitized version of events, they should have remembered I'm the one who wrote the first draft. Holy shit, Genesis whispered, scrolling through the guest list I'd pulled from the church's website. Trenton White, The same Trenton who lost millions in the White Wolf scandal? I nodded, pushing my laptop screen closer to her. And look who else! Three other major investors from that mess, all invited to celebrate my niece's blessed day. We were huddled in Genesis's office after hours, surrounded by empty coffee cups and takeout containers. The wall behind us was covered in sticky notes and printouts, our makeshift investigation board. Either Braden's got balls of steel, Genesis said, or he thinks none of these people will recognize him. That's the thing about rich people's parties. Everyone's too polite to mention the elephant in the room. I pulled up an old news article, especially when the elephant changed his name and got a fancy new haircut. My phone buzzed. Another Instagram notification from Noelle. Final dress fitting for Aurora's special day. Blessed on Choark baptism, Choir family first. Genesis peered over my shoulder. She really has no idea, does she? Nope. And when I tried to show her the proof, I gestured at the fading bruise on my arm from where Braden had grabbed me that night. Well, let's just say her husband made his feelings clear. We should go to the police. With what? Everything's circumstantial. He covered his tracks too well. I pulled up another file. But look what I found in the archived records. Genesis leaned in closer. White Wolf Ventures. Wait, is that Braden's signature? On company documents from 2019? Sure is. Back when he was still going by Wyatt. My phone lit up again. This time it was Tegan. So sorry you won't be attending, dear. Family can be complicated, no, but sometimes it's best to keep certain discussions private for everyone's sake. That bitch, Genesis muttered. She knows, doesn't she? They all know. They just care more about their reputation than the truth. I started downloading files to my USB drive. But guess what? The church's email system uses an open server, and I've got everyone's contact information from the ceremony program. Genesis's eyes widened. Steph, what are you planning? A tribute video. Something touching, meaningful. I smiled. The kind of thing a loving aunt would send when she can't be there in person. And if this tribute happens to include certain financial records? Pure coincidence. I'm just terrible at editing. I pulled up iMovie and started arranging photos. Besides, shouldn't Trenton White know exactly who's blessing his champagne toast? My phone rang. Mom again. I declined the call. Your mom's going to lose it, Genesis warned. She lost me first. I kept working, adding soft background music to the slideshow. Remember when Noelle had that panic attack in college? Mom told everyone it was just allergies, when Dad's gambling almost bankrupted us. Just a temporary cash flow issue. Now Braden's passed. Another inconvenient truth to sweep under their designer rug. Genesis grabbed my hand. Are you sure about this? Once you send it, I've never been more sure of anything. I pulled up the White Wolf Ventures logo. They banned me from the ceremony because they're afraid I'll speak up. Fine, I'll let the truth speak for me. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Last warning. Drop it. I showed Genesis. They're getting nervous. They should be. She pointed at my screen. Look who just posted. Noelle had shared another photo. Her, Braden, and baby Aurora in a matching white outfits. The caption read, Tomorrow our little angel receives God's blessing. So grateful for our perfect family and those who protect it. Blessed, Weiner christening. Pure and clean. Something snapped inside me. I started typing faster, adding the final touches to my video. The last slide showed Aurora's innocent face fading into a Wall Street Journal headline about White Wolf's collapse. Send it tonight? Genesis asked. No, tomorrow morning, right before the ceremony starts. I saved the file. Let them all check their phones during the opening hymn. Another text came through, this time from Tegan. Hoping you'll respect our wishes and keep tomorrow drama-free. Family loyalty matters most. I stared at my laptop screen, at the evidence I'd spent months gathering, at the proof of every lie, every scheme, every betrayal, at the truth they thought they could bury under white dresses and holy water. If I can't speak during the ceremony, I whispered, I'll let the truth speak for me. Genesis squeezed my shoulder. What time tomorrow? I checked the ceremony program one last time. 9 a.m., when the bells start ringing. God's timing is perfect, right? She grinned. Amen to that. I closed my laptop. Let's see how blessed they feel when their perfect day meets their imperfect past. The lullaby music played softly as I made the final adjustments to my tribute video. Sweet, innocent, the perfect soundtrack for destroying carefully constructed lies. Play it again, Genesis said, perched on my couch with a glass of wine. I want to make sure the timing is perfect. I clicked play, baby photos of Aurora dissolved into family pictures, then seamlessly transitioned to screenshots of financial documents. If you weren't looking closely, you might miss the damning evidence hidden between the smiling faces. My phone buzzed. Noelle had posted again. Last minute preparations for tomorrow. Can't wait to share our blessing with everyone who truly loves and supports us. Actuar baptism, Archuan purity, squawk truth. The irony is killing me, Genesis muttered. I adjusted the transition timing. 3 seconds between each slide, just long enough for people to realize what they're seeing. You don't think it's too subtle? Trust me, Trenton White will recognize his own signature on those fraudulent contracts. I paused the video, and that Reuters article about the missing millions isn't exactly easy to miss. My doorbell rang. Genesis tensed, but it was just the delivery guy with our Thai food. You should eat something, she said, unpacking the containers. You've been at this for hours. Almost done. Just need to add. My phone lit up with a text from Mom. Darling, please tell me you're not planning anything foolish. Tegan mentioned you've been asking questions again. Think of your sister's happiness. I threw the phone aside. My sister's happiness is built on fraud and stolen money. Speaking of money, Genesis pointed at my screen. Is that what I think it is? I nodded, pulling up the final document. Braden's original driver's license, back when he was still Wyatt Cunard before he mysteriously changed his name and moved across the country. How did you even find that? Amazing what public records can tell you. Plus, his sister Madeline might have helped. Turns out she's not too fond of Big Brother either. I added the license photo to the final slide, letting it fade in slowly behind Aurora's innocent face. The contrast was perfect. New life against old lies. Genesis leaned forward. Wait, go back to that bank statement. I rewound the video. The one showing the transfers? No, the offshore account. Zoom in on the date. I did. Holy shit. That's the exact day Noelle met him. He was planning this from the start, Genesis whispered, finding a respectable family to hide behind. My hands shook as I saved the final version, the whole truth laid bare in 5 minutes and 23 seconds of carefully crafted exposition. Another Instagram notification. Noelle had posted a photo of Aurora's christening gown, all white lace and pearls. The caption made my stomach turn, pure as snow, nothing but love and light for our precious angel. She really believes it, doesn't she? Genesis asked softly. She believes what she wants to believe. I pulled up my email. Just like she believed him when he said he was working late, the night I caught him deleting files from her laptop. The memory hit hard. Braden's face in the dim light of Noelle's home office, his fingers flying across her keyboard, the way he'd smiled when he saw me in the doorway. Just helping your sister organize some things, Ahid said, then his hand on my arm, squeezing. We should keep this between us for family harmony. My phone rang. Noelle, I let it go to voicemail. You know she's going to hate you for this, Genesis said. She already hates me. At least now she'll know why she should. I started typing the email that would accompany the video. Something simple, innocent. Couldn't be there in person, but wanted to share some love for my beautiful niece. Genesis read over my shoulder. The heart emoji is a nice touch. Very on brand for a loving aunt. I learned from the best. Mom's passive aggressive emoji game is legendary. I hovered over the attach button. Should I? You're asking now? After everything we found? I thought about Noelle's face the day she told me I wasn't welcome at the christening. The way she'd looked right through me, like I was already gone. They chose this. They chose him. Then they can deal with the consequences. I attached the video file, added the church's email list to BCC, took a deep breath. Here's to new beginnings, I whispered, especially the kind born from endings. Genesis raised her wine glass. To truth, to karma. I clicked send, then closed my laptop. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., right as the church bells began to ring, my sister's perfect world would start to crumble, and this time I wouldn't be there to catch her when she fell. 9 p.m., the night before the christening. My finger trembled over the mouse as I scheduled the email to send at exactly 8:45 a.m. tomorrow, 15 minutes before the ceremony. First, scene receipt, Genesis announced, watching the tracking software. Someone named Patricia just opened it. My heart raced. Probably one of Tegan's charity board friends. Give it time. We sat in tense silence, watching the notifications trickle in. Two more views, then five, then 12, no responses yet. They're watching it, Genesis whispered. Holy shit, they're actually watching it. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. Smart video editing. Shame about the content. Last chance to recall that email. They're nervous, I said, showing Genesis the message. Good. 10:30 p.m., 28 views. Still no replies. The silence felt heavy, pregnant with possibility. I poured more wine. Remember when Noelle used to come to me with everything? I pulled up an old photo on my phone. College drama, boy problems, career advice. Now look at us. Steph, Genesis started. No, I need to say this. I pulled up the screenshot from that night 6 months ago. When I caught Braden deleting those files, you know what he said? Your sister finally has everything she wants. Don't ruin it with questions. What did Noelle say? She said I was jealous, that I couldn't stand seeing her happy. I laughed bitterly. Then she watched him lie to my face about the White Wolf documents and did nothing. 11:45 p.m. 43 views. My phone lit up with a text from Mom. Are you awake? We need to talk about tomorrow. I ignored it. Another notification popped up. Trenton White had viewed the video twice. It's happening, Genesis whispered. No going back now. 1:30 a.m. 67 views. I couldn't sleep. Kept refreshing my email, watching the numbers climb. A message appeared from a name I recognized, one of Braden's former business partners. Interesting choice of background music. The evidence is more interesting. 3:15 a.m. Genesis had fallen asleep on my couch, but I kept vigil. Noelle posted one last Instagram story, her perfect white dress laid out, Aurora's christening gown beside it. Tomorrow we celebrate pure love. Blessed. 4:45 a.m. My phone buzzed with a text from Tegan. You have no idea what you've done. Oh, but I do, I whispered to my dark apartment. 6 a.m. Dawn broke over the city. I watched the sunrise, thinking about all the mornings I'd spent comforting Noelle after nightmares, helping her get ready for school, being the mother our own mom couldn't be. 7:30 a.m. Genesis woke up, checked her phone. 93 views. No one's sleeping in that church today. 8:15 a.m., a flurry of Instagram posts. The guests arriving, all dressed in white, Noelle's perfect smile, Braden's arm around her waist, Mom's carefully staged photos of the flower arrangements. 8:40 a.m. My hands shook as I watched the clock. 5 minutes until the email sent. 8:44 a.m. 1 minute. Genesis grabbed my hand. 8:45 a.m. The tracking software lit up like a Christmas tree. Delivered, delivered, delivered. 8:50 a.m. The first response came from Trenton White. Is this some kind of joke? 8:55 a.m. My phone exploded with notifications. Missed calls from Mom, texts from unknown numbers, Instagram messages from Tegan's friends. 9 how about a.m. The church bells would be ringing now. I could picture it. Phones buzzing during the opening prayers, guests squirming in their pews, whispers spreading like wildfire. 9:05 a.m. A voicemail from Noelle. I put it on the speaker. How fucking dare you? How dare you? The priest is staring at us. Tegan just walked out. Aurora's crying. Mom's having a panic attack. Is this what you wanted? Are you happy now? Screaming in the background, chaos. The sound of a door slamming. 9:15 a.m. Messages flooding in from guests. Is this real? Someone call security. Does anyone else see these documents? Who is Wyatt Kennard? 9:30 a.m. A text from Madeline, Braden's sister. I wish I'd had your guts. Call me. My phone kept buzzing, but I barely noticed. A strange calm had settled over me. Then, a knock at my door made me jump. Genesis peered through the peephole. It's your dad. I opened the door. Dad stood there, still in his church suit, looking older than I'd ever seen him. His face was ashen, his hands trembling. We need to talk, he said quietly. Behind him, my phone lit up with another notification. The first news alert: chaos erupts at high society christening, financial fraud allegations, surface during ceremony. It was only 9:45 a.m. The day was just beginning. Dad stood in my living room, still clutching his church program, while Genesis quietly excused herself. The silence between us felt like a living thing. Play it, he said finally. Show me what you sent. I opened my laptop and started the video. Dad's face remained stone still through the baby photos, but I saw his hands clench when the financial documents appeared. Jesus Christ, he whispered at the sight of Braden's original driver's license. My phone kept buzzing. Another hysterical voicemail from Noelle played automatically. The priest stopped the ceremony. Aurora's godparents left. Tegan's threatening to call her lawyers. How could you do this to me? To my baby? Dad sank onto my couch. I knew something wasn't right about him. The way he dodged questions about his past. You knew? My voice cracked. And you still let Noelle? Your mother was so excited about the Douglas connection, and Noelle seemed happy. He rubbed his face. I didn't want to rock the boat. My phone lit up with texts from guests. Trenton White just confronted Braden in the church parking lot. Police are here. Did anyone else see Tegan faint? Someone's live streaming this on Instagram. Rock the boat? I laughed bitterly. The boat was already sinking, Dad. You just helped everyone ignore the water. A new message popped up from Madeline. Braden's trying to leave the country. Already called my lawyer. Can we meet? Dad read the message over my shoulder. His own sister turned on him? She's been waiting years to expose him. Just needed someone to go first. My Instagram notifications exploded. Someone had posted a video of the chaos: Braden shoving through reporters, Noelle crying in her white dress, Mom having a meltdown in the church garden. The comments were brutal. Karma comes for everyone. Not so blessed now. Anyone else find the old White Wolf Ventures articles? Dad's phone rang. Mom, he ignored it. Your mother will never forgive you for this, he said quietly. Mom never forgave me for anything that disrupted her perfect family fantasy. I showed him the bruise on my arm. Did you know Braden did this when I caught him deleting evidence? Dad's face went pale. He put his hands on you? And Noelle watched, said I must have provoked him. I pulled up more screenshots. Just like these investors provoked him when they asked where their money went. Another voicemail from Noelle played. The police are questioning Braden. They're saying something about outstanding warrants. What did you do? I told the truth, I whispered back to the recording. Something this family forgot how to do. My laptop pinged with news alerts. High society christening reveals hidden financial scandal. White Wolf Ventures. Fraud case reopened. Douglas family declines comment on viral video. Dad stood up suddenly. I have to go. Your mother, she'll need. Of course. Go comfort Mom. It's what you do best. He paused at the door. Stephanie, I should have listened. When you first came to me about him. Yes, you should have. After he left, I opened my email. Hundreds of responses now. Some angry, some thankful, some just shocked. But one caught my eye. From Trenton White. Thank you for finally exposing the truth. My lawyers will be in touch. We've been building a case for years. My phone buzzed again. Madeline. Meeting at the cafe on 5th in 20 minutes. Have more files you need to see. I grabbed my keys, then stopped. Another notification. A photo posted by one of the guests. Noelle being helped into a car, mascara streaking her face, Aurora clutched to her chest. The caption read, The truth hurts, but lies destroy. Christening gate. Genesis texted, You okay? Need company? Meeting Madeline. This isn't over. Be careful. Cornered rats bite hardest. I took one last look at my laptop screen at the chaos I'd unleashed. at the truth finally breaking free from its perfectly wrapped prison. My phone rang again, unknown number. I answered. Hello? Is this Stephanie? A man's voice, professional. This is Detective Morris. We'd like to ask you some questions about Wyatt Cunard, also known as Braden Douglas. I smiled. I've been waiting for this call. Where should we meet? Behind me, my laptop continued streaming the aftermath. The perfect christening, the perfect family, the perfect lies, all crumbling under the weight of truth. And this was just the beginning. The cafe was nearly empty when Madeline walked in, carrying a sleek laptop and a flash drive. She looked nothing like her brother. Where Braden was all calculated charm, she radiated raw determination. You've got guts, she said, sliding into the booth. I've been sitting on this evidence for 3 years, too scared to move. Why now? I asked. She pulled up a Reddit thread on her phone. Because it's trending. Christening Gate is everywhere. The truth is finally too big to bury. The thread was explosive. Hundreds of comments, multiple awards, screenshots from the ceremony spreading like wildfire. Former White Wolf employees were coming forward with their own stories. Look at this, Madeline said, plugging in her flash drive. Audio recordings from 2019. Braden threatening a junior associate who wanted to report the irregularities. The cafe door chimed. Dad walked in, looking haunted. Mind if I join you? Madeline raised an eyebrow at me. I nodded. Mom's with Noelle, Dad said, sitting down. They're. It's not good. Define not good, I said. Tegan's lawyers are involved. The Douglas family is trying to distance themselves, and Braden? He hesitated. He's missing? Madeline's face hardened. No, he's not. He's following his escape plan. Same thing he did in Seattle, in Miami, in Houston. New name, new look, new victims. My phone buzzed with a news alert. White Wolf Ventures investigation reopened, multiple victims coming forward. I should have seen it, Dad said quietly. The way he isolated Noelle, the mysterious business trips, the pressure to cut you out. You did see it? I snapped. You just chose to ignore it. Like you ignored Mom's social climbing, like you ignored Noelle's depression in college, like you. I know! His fist hit the table, making our coffee cups rattle. I know. I've spent my whole life not rocking the boat, looking the other way, telling myself peace was worth the price of silence. Madeline opened a file on her laptop. Speaking of price, here's where my brother hid most of the money. Offshore accounts, shell companies, all carefully laundered through legitimate businesses. My phone lit up with a text from Genesis. Holy shit. You're trending on Twitter. Someone figured out you're the whistleblower. Good, I said. Let them know. Dad's phone rang. Mom again. This time he answered on speaker. Hassan, it's a nightmare. Noelle's sedated, Aurora won't stop crying, and our name is all over the internet. That ungrateful daughter of ours. That daughter, Dad interrupted, just exposed a criminal who was destroying our family, and I'm done pretending otherwise. Silence on the other end. Then, Hassan? No more Livia, no more perfect facades, no more country club lies. Our daughter told the truth, and it's time we did too. He hung up. Madeline looked impressed. Better late than never, she said, turning her laptop around. Now, want to see what else your son in law's been hiding? The evidence was staggering. Forged contracts, coerced signatures, audio recordings of threats, photos of Braden with different names, different looks, different victims. My phone buzzed again. A Reddit notification. Someone had posted the full video from the christening. The comments were flooding in. This is better than any Netflix dramas. That poor baby. But thank God someone spoke up. Anyone else find his other aliases? This goes deep. Madeline handed me the flash drive. There's more. So much more. But you've already done the hardest part. You broke the silence. Dad stared at his coffee. Will Noelle ever forgive us? Forgiveness isn't the point, I said. Protection is. Truth is. Justice is. My phone rang. Detective Morris again. We've got him, he said without preamble. Airport security recognized him from the alerts. He's in custody. Madeline's eyes filled with tears. Really? Really? And Ms. Hernandez? Your video? Brilliant work. Clean, clear, impossible to ignore. Would you be willing to make an official statement? I looked at Dad, then at Madeline, at the evidence spread across our table, at the truth finally seeing daylight. Yes, I said. I think it's time we all made statements. After I hung up, Dad reached across the table and took my hand. I'm sorry I wasn't brave enough before. You're being brave now, I said. That's what matters. My phone lit up with another notification. A new post from Noelle, her first since the ceremony. Sometimes the people who hurt us most are the ones who claim to love us, and sometimes the ones we push away are the ones trying hardest to save us. I have a lot to think about. Madeline slid a final file across the table. Ready to finish what you started? I opened it, feeling the weight of truth in my hands. More than ready. Let's make sure this story gets the ending it deserves. The police station's interview room felt smaller than I expected. Detective Morris set up a recording device while I spread out Madeline's files. Start from the beginning, he said. How did you first suspect something was wrong? The night I caught him deleting files, I began, but my phone buzzed. Another news alert. Douglas family releases statement, we were deceived. Tegan's doing damage control, Madeline said from beside me. Too late, though. The internet never forgets. I pulled up the viral Reddit thread that had exploded overnight. Over 50,000 comments now. Someone had created a timeline of Braden's schemes, connecting dots across 3 states and multiple identities. Tell me about the White Wolf documents, Detective Morris prompted. I played him the audio recording from Madeline's files. Braden's voice filled the room. If you say anything, your career is over, your family's reputation, gone. Think carefully about your next move. My phone lit up with a text from Genesis. Turn on the news? Now. The detective obliged, switching on the small TV in the corner. There was Trenton White standing at a podium. Today, thanks to one brave whistleblower, years of financial fraud have been exposed. My firm will be pursuing full legal action against Braden Douglas, also known as Wyatt Cunard. Another buzz, a message from Dad. Your mother's at the station. She wants to make a statement. What? I showed Madeline the text. The door opened. Mom stood there, looking smaller without her usual perfect makeup and designer clothes. I need to tell them about the money, she said quietly. About what I saw in his office that night. Detective Morris leaned forward. Mrs. Hernandez? He was transferring funds, large amounts. I saw the screens when I brought him coffee. She twisted her wedding ring. I told myself it wasn't my business. That questioning it would hurt Noelle's marriage. Mom? I started. No, let me finish. She sat down heavily. I've spent my whole life choosing status over truth, looking away from things I knew were wrong. Not anymore. My phone buzzed again. A video message from Noelle. Her face was tear stained but composed. The police found documents in our house, bank statements, fake IDs, everything. How did I not see it? How did I let him? She broke off. Steph, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Madeline squeezed my hand as Detective Morris continued recording our statements. Outside the interview room, we could hear more reporters arriving. The DA wants to move fast on this, he said. With all the public attention. My phone lit up. Genesis had sent a link to a new Twitter thread. Someone had dug up security footage of Braden threatening former employees. The hashtag #Justice for White Wolf Victims was trending. I need to make a statement too, I said suddenly. Not just about the evidence, about why silence is dangerous, about how families enable abuse by choosing comfort over truth. Mom flinched but nodded. You should. Maybe others will learn from our mistakes. I opened my laptop and started recording. The words flowed easily now. You taught me silence meant survival. That perfect appearances mattered more than honest hearts. That family loyalty meant protecting lies instead of each other. Now I teach you that silence was your mistake. My voice grew stronger as I continued. Behind me, Mom wiped away tears. Another buzz, a message from Tegan. The Douglas Family Foundation is cooperating fully with authorities. I hope you understand this ends any connection between our families. Good, Madeline muttered. Take them all down. Detective Morris's phone rang. He answered, listened, then looked at us. They found the offshore accounts. All of them. Braden's talking, trying to make a deal. Mom stood up straighter. No deals. He needs to face everything he's done. My phone lit up with a final notification. Noelle had posted again. To everyone hurt by my husband's actions, I'm sorry. To my sister who tried to warn me, I'm sorry. To my daughter who deserves better, I promise to be braver. Truth isn't always pretty, but it's always right. No more silence. I finished my recording and hit upload. Within minutes, it started spreading across social media. Justice is trending, Genesis texted. I looked around the room at Mom's newfound courage, at Madeline's vindication, at the evidence of years of lies finally exposed to light. Ready for the press conference? Detective Morris asked. I stood up, gathering our files. Ready to tell the truth? Always. Outside, camera flashes were already lighting up the station windows. The truth was about to get its biggest audience yet, and this time, no one was looking away. The autumn breeze carried the sound of children playing as I walked through the park, my coffee growing cold in my hands. A notification lit up my phone. Another article about Braden's sentencing. 15 years, Genesis said, falling into step beside me, plus full restitution to all victims. Trenton White's team made sure of that. I showed her the latest email from his lawyers. The recovery fund is already helping families rebuild. We passed a playground where a mother was pushing her baby on a swing. For a moment, I thought of Aurora, now living with Noelle in a small apartment across town. My phone buzzed. Speaking of Noelle, can we talk? In person? You don't have to go, Genesis said, reading over my shoulder. Yes, I do. The coffee shop was quiet when I arrived. Noelle sat in a corner booth, Aurora asleep in her carrier. My sister looked different, softer somehow, without the designer clothes and perfect makeup. Hi, she said quietly. I slid into the seat across from her. Hi. I've been trying to write you a letter, she started. But everything sounds wrong. How do you apologize for choosing a lie over your own sister? Noelle? No, let me finish. She pulled out her phone, showing me a photo. Remember this? My college graduation. You fixed my cap when it was crooked, adjusted my gown, made sure everything was perfect. You were always fixing things for me. That's what big sisters do. And what did I do? I watched my husband hurt you. I chose his lies over your truth. I, her voice cracked. I became mom. Aurora stirred in her sleep. Noelle gently adjusted her blanket. I'm not mom anymore, though, she continued. I'm getting therapy, learning to see truth instead of running from it, teaching Aurora that perfect isn't real, but honest is beautiful. My phone lit up with a news alert. Douglas Family Foundation announces new whistleblower protection program. Noelle smiled wryly. Tegan's idea of redemption. Dad's on the board now, did you hear? He told me, said it was time to protect truth tellers instead of truth twisters. Mom's not speaking to him. Noelle sighed. She's not speaking to any of us, actually. Still thinks we destroyed her social standing. And how do you feel about that? Relieved. She reached for my hand. I'd rather have a messy truth than a perfect lie. I learned that from you. Aurora woke up then, her tiny fingers reaching for nothing in particular. Noelle lifted her out of the carrier. Want to hold her? She asked softly. My hands trembled as I took my niece. Aurora looked up at me with curious eyes, eyes that would never know the weight of family secrets. Madeline sent me the final victim impact statements. Noelle said. I read them all, every single one. I owed them that much. That must have been hard. Harder was realizing I could have been one of those statements. If you hadn't exposed him, she shuddered. The police found evidence he was already setting up his next scheme, planning to disappear with Aurora and the Foundation's money. My phone buzzed again. Genesis. Reddit thread just hit 100K comments. Your story is helping people speak up about their own family secrets. You're trending again, Noelle noted, glancing at my screen. The whistleblower who chose truth over family. I didn't choose truth over family, I corrected. I chose truth for family. There's a difference. Aurora grabbed my finger, holding tight. Noelle watched us with tears in her eyes. I miss you, she whispered. I miss my big sister. I'm right here. Can we can we try again? Not like before. Better. Honest. I looked at my niece, at my sister, at the wreckage and renewal of our family's story. Yes, I said, but no more perfect pictures. No more buried truths. No more silence, Noelle agreed. My phone lit up one last time. A message from Dad. Family dinner tonight? Your mom's not coming, but Madeline will be there. Time to make new traditions. I showed Noelle the text. She smiled, a real smile, not the practiced one from her Instagram posts. "What do you say, sis?" she asked. "Ready to start a new chapter?" Aurora cooped in my arms, reaching for both of us. No secrets in her world, no perfect lies, just truth and time and the chance to write our story right. "Yeah," I said, holding my niece close. "I think we all are.